Most of them, they will tell you, we do this, we don't do this. Many of them, you will see them with their cups or whatever they take at every time of the day when they have to pray. How many of us Christians do that? Whether you think their prayer is prayer or not, but that's their conviction. They go and do it. They will stand and say, we do this, we don't do this. When we go to the mosque, we do this, we don't do this. Whether you agree or not, but this is, they're clear. So, when we come like to the Catholicism today, it's like anything goes. Okay? So if you don't know where you are going, who is going to follow you? How can you invite people who become Catholic to join what? Confusion? I'm not coming. Okay? If we don't know where we are going, who is going to follow us? People will follow you when they know that you have an agenda and you know the direction you're taking. That's why Pope John Paul emphasized a new evangelization, which must be from within. Because we have succumbed to a kind of paganism, okay, which worships not the living God, but the golden calves we have created for ourselves. And so we need to re-evangelize ourselves as a church, strengthen ourselves, and then go out and proclaim to others. But if we don't know where we're going, we say, follow me. Where are you going? I don't know. And you want me to follow you? No, I'm not going to do it. So if we get to that point, what would be attractive about us as a church? Pope Benedict made it very clear. He said that the secular world may tell us to abandon the truth because it's fanatic or not necessary or stupid or foolish or whatever. Okay? But they do that because truth is a constant thorn in the flesh, okay, of humanity, the way we live, our licentiousness. All of us can be really bad. Okay? Because it doesn't require effort to be bad. But it requires a lot of discipline and work to be good. Okay? So that's why it's difficult to be good. Okay? So Benedict says that the church is relevant. So the secular world wants to make us irrelevant. How? By abandoning truth. And many of us are accepting that we have to be good, we have to be relevant to society. Pope Benedict says, if the church ceases to offer society truth, the church is irrelevant. The church is only relevant in as much as it offers society truth. That is who we are as church. If we lose sight of truth, we are very, very irrelevant. We have nothing to offer society because we are no longer being church. So how can we present ourselves to society as church if we have nothing to offer as church, namely truth? So this is what these saints are telling these churches. Okay? That you cannot, I'm going to die, I'm going to Rome to die for the truth. So uphold it. And it centers around the priesthood, the bishops. So a bishop should really understand their ministry very deeply because it's Christ tells me, go and teach as I teach. Okay, so concerning the Eucharist, Ignatius of Antioch writes, take care then, the Church of Philadelphia, to partake of one Eucharist. For one is the flesh of our Lord Jesus Christ, and one the cup to unite us with his blood, and one altar. Just as there is one bishop, assisted by the presbyters, priests, okay, and the deacons, my fellow servants. Thus, you will conform in all your actions to the will of God. Okay, emphasizing the sacrificial character of the Eucharist by calling it one altar. Okay? Blood, flesh and blood, and one altar. So that's the understanding of the Eucharist, the breaking of bread as sacrifice. So points to note, an altar is by definition a table in which sacrifice is offered. calling the table at which the Eucharist is celebrated an altar, Ignatius implies that the Eucharist is a sacrifice. Remember that Ignatius, by writing this, is not defending the Eucharist as sacrifice. He takes it for granted that the church understands it. So he's not basically defending the Eucharist as sacrifice. It's known. He's simply emphasizing it. Number two, the community finds its unity in the celebration of one Eucharist and one bishop at one altar. As we say always, because the sacrifice is one, the sacrifice of the cross, okay, that is made present all through generations, so also the altar is one, just as the priest is one. So whenever we celebrate the Eucharist, that is the cross. The altar is one. So all that basically, merges in the priesthood. We have the Eucharist there, the priest kissing the altar, and the priest representing being here there in the name and the person of Jesus Christ. So priest, altar, and lamb is one. Okay. So Ignatius clearly implies that the Eucharist is a sacrifice. Then Justin Martyr was basically a philosopher and a teacher of the faith around 155 AD. In his dialogue with Tree for the Jew, you can even download a lot of this on the internet, right? And website, Justin Martyr and Tree for the Jew, their arguments, their discussions. So Justin argues that Christians are now God's priestly people, and that the Eucharist that they offer is the pure sacrifice prophesied by Malachi. He repudiates all carnal sacrifice and insists that the only sacrifice acceptable to God is the prayer and thanksgiving which Christians offer to God in the celebration of the Eucharist, in which the Passion of Christ is commemorated. So basically, St. Justin Martyr is saying that we no longer need to offer these animals which he offered of old, which were simply prefigurements of the true sacrifice that is to take away the sin of the world. The blood of animals cannot take away sin. It is life himself, the blood of Christ, that takes away sin. So this is the sacrifice we Christians offer, and it is the true sacrifice prophesied by the prophets of old, and it has come to find its fulfillment in Christ Jesus and in what Christians do at the command of Christ. So he says, we Christians are now of the true priestly family of God, as he himself testifies when he says that in every place among the Gentiles, pure and pleasing sacrifices are offered up to him. But God receives the sacrifices from no one except through his priests. God has therefore announced in advance that all the sacrifices offered in his name, which Jesus Christ commanded to be offered, that is, in the Eucharist of the bread and of the cup, which are offered by us Christians in every part of the world, are pleasing to him. But he refuses to accept your sacrifices, meaning the Jews again. He refuses to accept your sacrifices and those offered through your priests, saying, I will not receive your sacrifices at your hands. For from the rising of the sun, even to its setting or going down, my name is glorified among the Gentiles, but you profane it. Okay, that's the prophecy of Malachi, chapter 1. So prayers and thanksgiving offered by worthy persons are the only perfect and acceptable sacrifice to God. For Christians, we are instructed to offer only such prayers, even as their thanksgiving for their food, both liquid and solid, whereby the passion which the Son of God endured for us is commemorated. So in this part of the text, we note these points. Christians now form the priestly family of God. So remember that in the Old Covenant, when God chooses these people, okay, they offer to him. There is priestly people. But now, the priestly people, again, was a prefigured the new priestly people, okay, who basically will be universal. And these are Christians. Okay? Basically, around the priest, or united with the priest, Christ Jesus, the priest. So, the Eucharist of the bread and the cup, which they offer, is the pure and the pleasing sacrifice, which Malachi foretold will be offered by Gentiles in every part of the world. So, the Eucharist is offered everywhere, every part of the world. So, the prophecy is fulfilled. Prayers and thanksgiving offered by worthy persons are the only sacrifice that is acceptable to God. Who are worthy persons? Those Christ has made worthy of himself. We don't make ourselves worthy. That's why we always say at Mass, I'm not worthy to that you enter under my roof, but say the word and I will receive healing. So Christians offer such prayers at the Eucharist, in which Christ's passion is commemorated. So Justin is the first of the ancient authors we have seen to offer any kind of explanation of how the Eucharist is a sacrifice. For him it seems to consist in the thanksgiving over the bread and the cup which Christians offer to God, in which they commemorate the passion of Christ. Okay. So, the prayers themselves. Okay. Then St. Irenaeus, a great teacher in the early church, around 177 AD. I think we explained the importance of Irenaeus as a father of the church. He wrote a book against heresies. You can see it on the internet. His importance is that as a young man, he was taught the faith by St. Polycarp. And St. Polycarp, as a young man, was taught the faith by John the Apostle. So that proximity, that's the importance of the witness of Polycarp and Irenaeus, because they are very proximate to the Apostolic Church. Okay. So Polycarp was a student of John the Apostle, and Polycarp taught Irenaeus. Okay. So writing against the Gnostics, who held that matter is evil. Okay, so basically these Gnostics had a way of understanding, because these were, again, people who thought that they were believers. Okay? Many of them, they think that they were believers, but they were super believers. In other words, they were claiming that the apostles passed on to them a higher form of knowledge, which is not revealed to the masses. So the masses, the priests and the bishops, have a watered down kind of truth, which could easily be understood by dumb people, the stupid. Okay? But for the wise, the apostles passed on a higher form of knowledge. Okay? And so among those Gnostics, there were many brands, okay, of Gnosticism. We should call them Gnosticism. Gnoscere in Latin means knowledge. Okay? So those who claim to have secret knowledge, okay? So others don't know about. So these people were basically claiming to have that higher form of knowledge. Others don't know about that. Some of them basically considered matter evil. That is a product of a demiurge, an evil god. So we need, of course, that came in a sense from maybe misunderstanding or mixing Platonic philosophy in ways that are crude. So we must free ourselves from matter if we are to become super spiritual. So those are the people. Even today, we have some sects, okay, groups within the Christian tradition, which still believe in that sense. Okay, you can find them in some countries. So they barely eat. Okay, because like when you eat, you are putting inside yourself more matter, and then you become less spiritual. Okay? Okay, so of that sense, you have to be spiritual. So matter is evil. So the less contact you have with matter, okay, the better we are. The better off we are. But how can you get rid of matter if you are still alive, at least in this world? if you call matter evil, you're saying that a human being is essentially evil. Plato in his mythical thinking, he thought that the souls pre-exist. So they were in the realms of what you can call the heavens. And through a process, he has a long myth, then those souls drank of something, and then they fell from the heavens. They were contaminated by matter. Then they fell off. So now the soul is imprisoned in the body. So the body is like a prison. And so the process of philosophy, acquiring knowledge, according to Plato, is to free the soul from the body, so that it may go back to where it belongs. So the soul knows everything because it contemplated eternity before. Now it forgot many things because it's contaminated by matter. With matter is contaminating the soul. So through that contamination, the soul forgets what it contemplated in eternity. So now, through the process of philosophy, Plato says, the soul begins to remember. So acquiring knowledge is not something like you learn new knowledge, you simply remember. So epistemology, knowing things, you simply remember. So the process of philosophy is to assist the soul to remember. So death is very much welcome because you're freeing the soul from the prison of the body. But that has never been the Christian understanding. Although there could be some elements which can be Christian, but that has never been the Catholic understanding, Christian understanding. Why? Because matter is good. And God created it and said it is very good. And Jesus himself took from material elements and he said, this is my body and this is my blood. So for a Christian to say that matter is evil is basically succumbing to demonic lies. Because matter is good. That's why the church constantly teaches that material things are good. Because a thing in itself, God made it good. For example, who has ever seen money greedy? That money is greedy. Money is not greedy. It's people who have a disordered love for money that are greedy. Put money there, it will stay there. Money can't take anything from anybody. Money stole my money. No, you can't do that. The food, what's not food? Food is food. Food is good. We can abuse it, but it is good. There's people who abuse it that are bad people, not the food. So that's the Christian understanding. So that's the context in which St. Irenaeus is talking about this, the Eucharist. So, which is to show that the material world is God's creation and is good. So he does this by recalling that it was from material creation that Christ took bread and wine and declared them to be his body and blood. So he's saying here that if you say you believe in God, you believe in Christ, you believe in God, the God of creation, how can you call creation evil?
They believe then, to go one step further, these heretics, that Jesus only had a divine nature then, because his human nature must have been evil. It's material.
Yeah, with the human nature, there are so many heresies about that. But one of the heresies is that basically the human nature is absorbed into the divine.
In us.
Yeah, in some Gnostic circles, it's absorbed into the. So, Irenaeus held this against these Gnostics. So when God saw them, meaning Saul and the people of Israel, neglecting justice and ceasing to love him, thinking that they could propitiate him by sacrifices and symbolic observances, Samuel said, God does not desire burnt offerings and sacrifices, but that his voice be obeyed. For obedience is a higher good than sacrifice. For all this, it is evident that God did not require of them sacrifices and burnt offerings, the list continues, but faith and obedience and justice. And yet, when counseling his disciples to offer to God the first fruits from among his creatures, not as if he needed them, but lest they themselves should be unfruitful and ungrateful, he took that which is from creation, bread, and gave thanks, saying, "This is my body." And likewise the cup, which is of the same creation as ourselves, he confessed to be his blood, and taught a new oblation of the New Testament. In reference to this oblation, Malachi prophesied, "Therefore, the oblation of the church, which the Lord taught was to be offered in the whole world, has been regarded by God as a pure sacrifice and is acceptable to him. Not that he needs a sacrifice from us, but because he who offers himself glorified in his offering, provided his gift is accepted. For it is by means of the gift that esteem as well as affection is shown a king." So points to note here, God does not require carnal sacrifices, but rather faith, obedience, and justice. That is a very important key point, especially in our day and age. As you know, these trends are mostly in the West. In other countries, there could be errors, but they are wrapped differently. Here we have what we call and conservative. Okay? So these words, okay, especially when it has to do with, we're talking about Christianity, we're talking about faith. Okay? We're not talking about the secular word now, the word they use. We're talking about a Christian referring to himself or herself as a liberal. Basically, what usually they mean is that I reject this particular teaching and I accept this particular one. Okay? So basically, it is succumbing to evil trends under the guise of being either progressive or modern or whatever. So the faith is up to the times. But in actual fact, the term in that traditional sense, applying to a Christian who gives into that, is that I'm giving into an evil trend. Hiding behind those terms. So if I call such a Christian a liberal, I'm giving them a pass. Why? Because these terms, we're talking about Christianity, we're not talking about secular one, the way they use them there. We're talking about Christianity. If a Christian refers to himself or herself as a liberal, okay, and getting into evil trends, and we simply call them liberal, we're giving them a pass. Why? Because this term is intended to obscure good and evil. So you no longer talk about good or evil, but you use different terms, liberal and whatever. Okay, so just as in other areas, you can no longer talk about male and female, you talk about something like a gender. Okay? The word that basically means nothing. Okay? So, this is what it is. So, these are the things you must avoid. Okay? This leads us into errors, and then justifying our errors because now we have given into a particular ideology which no longer cares about good and evil, but what I feel and what I think. So I am a liberal Christian, I'm a liberal Catholic. Okay? We're talking about the secular one, we're talking about how Christians can be acquired, basically adopt these terms to basically confuse themselves and justify their way of living. Then, as Jesus said one time, okay, the prostitutes and tax collectors are coming to me, Jesus says. Okay? Which means that there is a deeper a deeper form of deception, which is very difficult to overcome. This could be much easier to overcome by teaching than this. Why? Because a Christian who has given into this ideological thinking, they really convince themselves that they are good. You know the Pharisees, that they are actually good. Why? Because they are conservatives. Okay, so they are good. So their goodness now is measured by what they do and what they subscribe to. These are opposite extremes of doing the same thing. Okay? So I am good because of what I subscribe to, because of what I do. I'm a faithful Christian. So these are Catholics you will discover, and even if they have them in some other Christian sects, who will tell you that Vatican II was an evil council. It destroyed the church. It did ABCD. So they subscribe to these groups like, what is it? What do they call it? They're a favorite group. Okay? And all those kinds of groups. Okay? St. Peter's, whatever. So groups which reject papal teaching, because since I think John the 23rd, all popes, according to them, are heretics. So don't look up to Rome for anything. They are heretics. Okay? Vatican II was an evil council. So what they confuse is this. There is a gentleman, he died. It's called McCanley. I can't remember how you spell his name. McCanley. Something of this McCanley, okay? That's his name. He wrote a book called Find Him Out, okay? What went wrong? Put in that title, it will come. What went wrong with Vatican II? Okay, his name is McCanley. Okay? So, what went wrong with Vatican II? In that book, basically he explores the truth that there is nothing wrong with the council. The council simply reaffirms the teachings of the church in a very forceful way. Now it is people, he says there is a true spirit of Vatican II and a false spirit of Vatican II. So people hide behind the council to propound, to promote evil trends under the guise of the council. So we must distinguish the true spirit of Vatican II from the false spirit of Vatican II. Okay? So here, these conservatives reject all that. They say an abuse, and then they make the abuse the norm that Vatican II said, but it's their ignorance because they don't educate themselves about the faith. So they give into these fanatical groups, okay, that you reject this, the way we worship the Novus Ordo, like the way we do Mass, we celebrate Mass now, okay, the new form, the ordinary form. That's all wrong. We have to go back to the Tridentine, the Latin Mass, the way it was celebrated, because Vatican II basically destroyed Mass. So what we celebrate now is an abomination. Okay? The way we celebrate the new form, the form, okay? With the ordinary form. So these people, they think they are good, but they're in grave error. And they have given into evil. What is the evil they have given into? This is why they have. God does not require carnal sacrifices. So for them, it's the way I want to celebrate Mass. So I want to do the Tridentine Mass. Not that the Tridentine Mass is wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why Pope Benedict said, those who want to celebrate Mass using the extraordinary form are free, because it is an authentic way of celebrating the Eucharist. There's nothing wrong with it. Because again, you hear people who say, well, those are fanatics and whatever. No, they're not fanatics. Okay? God offers us different spiritualities, so which make us attracted to different ways of doing things. So they celebrate Mass in that form. Okay, according to their character, their personality, their spirituality, they find that more fulfilling. There's nothing wrong with that. But we shouldn't criticize each other. Because you are attracted to the Tridentine Mass, you are a fanatic. Because you are attracted to the ordinary form, you are a liberal. That's how we label each other. Okay? That's wrong. They are both good ways of celebrating Mass. But here the thing is, God does not require carnal sacrifices. Okay? That this is what I want to do for God. But rather faith, obedience, and justice. So these people here criticize these people here, the liberals, that they have abandoned the faith, they are disobedient, and basically they are unjust to God and whatever. They are disobedient. When in actual fact, they are doing the same thing, but even worse. So these people, because they are under the guise that they are very good, it's very difficult to convert them. You can go to the street, talk to a prostitute, whatever, you can easily convert an atheist than converting these people. Yes. So the devil never runs out of tricks. He can use our zeal, our desire for being right, for following the truth to lead us into error. That's why we always tell people, don't label yourself these things. I'm a liberal and conservative. Jesus never called us to subscribe to any human ideology over and above the faith. He called us to be disciples, to be faithful to the truth. That's all. Ideologies have their place in society. But when we subscribe to them in this way as Christians, then an ideology takes over, and we are at the service of an ideology rather than service of God, service of the faith, service of the church. So I've talked to some of these people here, those who subscribe to that, Vatican II is wrong, whatever. They are very, very entrenched in their trenches. That it's very difficult to make headway. Why? Because they don't want them to listen to what you're saying. But they are in error, they are misled. So we have to...
Is it because of pride?
Yes, it's pride. It's always centers around that.
So
it's a Pharisaic pride.
So it's haughty pride on conservatives' part that keep them entrenched in...
Now, not all people who label themselves conservative are like that. Okay? Some label themselves conservatives in terms of political or whatever, things like that. But I'm talking about a particular group of people who say that we are conservative in whatever, even concerning the faith. We are conservative, meaning that what the church did after Vatican II is all liberalism and whatever, so we are not going to follow that. So whatever the church teaches after that is heresy, period. We are locked up over there.
So it's so locked up in the old way that they don't love anybody of the new.
But there is no old way.
This little piece over here and everybody else.
But the thing is, concerning the faith, there is not old way, old new way. It is the faith.
Whereas liberals love everybody and all sin and everything else and everything is okay. And
the church should be welcoming.
Okay.
No matter whatever you welcome. You don't welcome for conversion. You're just a social, it's a party, it's whatever. So they are both extremes doing the same thing, but criticizing each other of being evil.
That makes sense.
Okay? So we must avoid that. So this point has to be taken very seriously, that God does not require carnal sacrifices, but rather faith, obedience, and justice. So in other words, we shouldn't hold on to a particular way of doing things. This is what I do. No, what is God doing? That's what I should respond to. Okay? So it's always what God is doing. So that's why you look at our churches, we have to be very careful about this. We come to our churches to celebrate the Eucharist and other sacraments. But sometimes you wonder whether the attention is on what God is doing or what we are doing. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. So the center, sometimes before we know it, is about what we are doing and there's nothing to do with what God is doing, which you should respond to. And so we can go to church, and instead of responding to the mystery, we are simply doing our own thing. And hence there is no feeding of faith, hope, and love. So the point is very clear that God rather wants a sacrifice of faith, obedience, and justice. So Christ had taught, point number 2, Christ had taught his disciples to offer as first fruits of creation bread and wine, which he declares to be his body and blood. Okay? This oblation of the church is the pure sacrifice prophesied by Malachi. This oblation, meaning it's actually a sacrifice. God requires, number 4, God requires us to offer this sacrifice. He requires us to offer. Not because he needs it, but because we are benefited by offering it. So at Mass, at the preface, when we begin the preface, prefatio, God, so we said, the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
And lift up your hands.
That part is there or not?
I was just asking, I wanted to see whether you are attentive and you work. You say it doesn't say lift up your hands. Say it lift up
Your heart.
Why not your brains on your hands?
This is for the affection.
Biblically, the heart is the center of human consciousness. So, meaning lift up your whole being. That's the meaning. Lift up your hearts. Okay? Someone is saying, why not my lands? So lift up your hearts and let us give thanks to the Lord our God. Then the priest continues, it's truly right and just, our duty and our salvation to always and everywhere give you thanks.
See, in Spanish it's a different word.
Well, what do they say?
It's just, justo y necesario. It's just and necessary.
Yes. 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 But again, when you say, okay, duty, that's the meaning. It's our duty. Duty and our salvation. So when we do this dutiful service, we are being saved by doing it. So we have the obligation to give thanks to God. By doing so, we benefit. So when we offer the Eucharist, that thanksgiving, we benefit. Okay? So it's not that God is asking us to do him a service, okay, so that he benefits from it. Everything is done for our good and for us and for our salvation. So God requires us to offer this sacrifice not because he needs it, but because we are benefited by offering it. Number 5, by offering this gift, we show esteem and affection for God. We have to express our love and our desire for God. In reverence, piety. Okay? So St. Irenaeus sees the first fruits of creation, the bread and the wine, which Christ declared to be his body and the blood, as the pure sacrifice prophesied by Malachi. This is the new sacrifice which God regards as pure. So let's take a break. That is St. Cyprian, St. C.